checking in once again, back like I never left. Got me a drink. I'm ready to get straight to it, man. I'm warmed up now. Let me tell y'all a quick story. Tell y'all a quick story about my life. My life, specifically my life in regards to former friends that I used to have around. And I use the word friend very lightly. It was more so my homeboys, guys that I grew up with, guys that I went to high school and subsequently also went to college with them. We were associates at the end of the day. Um, Now, of course, at that time, we all called each other friends, but I don't use the word friend lightly, especially not at this point in my life. But looking back in high school, I hung out with these guys. We went to college. We matriculated through college, and it was quite evident and clear to me halfway through our time in college that I was just very different from these guys. Just mentally, I was just different. I was far more ambitious and I pulled way more bitches. So those two things stuck out to me like a sore thumb, That stuck out to me very easily. I could realize that these guys were not like me. Now we grew up together. We had been spending so much time together. These are the guys that I would go party with and hang out with and play games with. But when it came to all matters of real life, things that actually matter in the grand scheme, ideology, integrity, you know, just the way that we carry ourselves, the way that we live our lives as men. What I held to be important and what they held to be important were completely different. Could not be at farther ends of the spectrum from each other. And it was probably midway through college, like I said, right around junior year. The more I hung around the guys in close quarters, that's when I knew that these dudes ain't nothing like me. They're nothing like me. But these are my homeboys. That's what I thought, it's just one of those situations like, okay, well, I'm just different. I'm just different. That's just life, right? But here's the thing. You ever heard the saying that familiarity breeds contempt? That is so true. Familiarity breeds contempt. The more you allow people, hey, what's going on, y'all? The more you allow people to get familiar with you, the more you allow them to be in your personal space, they start taking certain things for granted. They start thinking that they can get away with certain things. They think that you're gonna let things slide. And if you know anything about me, I just don't like I don't let shit slide. Because once you let somebody slide, then they feel like they can continue pushing it further and further. That doesn't work. That just doesn't work in life. So as we graduated from college, we came back to Jacksonville. All of us came back to Jacksonville for the most part. And we're hanging out. And within that first year back, everything really took a huge 180 as far as my involvement with them. Like I said earlier, when it came to what every young man is interested in, obviously, when it came to pulling women, when it came to dealing with women or smashing women, I was the leader of the pack in that regard. Not something that I really even held to, a high level of importance. That's just part of life, especially when you're a young guy, young single guy. That just comes with the territory. You're out here, you're smashing chicks, right? And yet, every time I come around these dudes, it seems like there's some rumor or some shit that they've been talking about pertaining to my sex life. What kind of lame ass shit is that? Oh, you really think that smashed that girl? You really think he's doing what he say he doing? What point do I have in lying about that kind of shit, bro? Like seriously, let's think about that. Grown ass man, what do I need to lie about who I'm smashing for, or how many I'm smashing? Who gives a fuck? But these niggas would really be on that type of lame shit where they talking about me behind my back about that. And then come to find out from one of my homegirls, they're saying all this other crazy stuff about me. Now these are dudes that I think are my homeboys at this time, mind you. And I don't carry myself like that while I'm talking about another man's business. That's not how I was raised. That's not how men carry themselves. Not real men. So when I come to find out that there's all of this, immoral and just untrustworthy, flaw shit going on behind my back, I remember like it was yesterday. It was 2011. You know, they were all there, and I had just finished talking to my homegirl. She put me on game about what was going on behind my back, and I remember I stepped to him. I confronted them all in the room. We had a very spirited conversation, let's say, and you know, I pretty much just this is back when I was still an unbelievable hothead. Basically, I was just trying to escalate it to a physical altercation with whoever. I don't give a fuck. It was four of them, whoever. Let's do it. Cause I'm not with the backbiting and talking behind each other's back. That's some whole shit. I think we all can agree on that. And I told them then and there, as of this day, I don't fuck with any of y'all. I don't fuck with any of y'all. Y'all, none of y'all are on my level. It's clear. It's clear as day. I'm the only one who's in here ever trying to push the envelope further to begin with, whether we're talking about women, whether we're talking about money, whether we're talking about our career prospects. I'm the only one who's ever thinking about what's next to begin with. Y'all bum ass niggas, y'all got the nerve to be talking about me behind my back? Seriously? All right, I got something for that, bro. After this day forward, I don't fuck with none of y'all. I don't fuck with none of y'all. It was simple as that, man. And it wasn't even something that, it wasn't even like an impulsive decision. It was just something that I knew needed to happen. Because every single time I was around these guys, like I said, like I realized from that point where I was in college, when I was very much different from these guys, from that point forward, it just felt like I was somewhat dimming my light just to be around these bum ass motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So that day when I completely cut myself away from them and I told them that I don't fuck with any of them and that we are never going to speak again. From that day forward, it's like I felt this weight off of my shoulders. It was like an awakening, an enlightenment that allowed me to step into my true self, that true lone wolf that I've truly always been. I've always marched to the beat of my own drum. That's just always been Thatchman, man. I've always blazed my own trail, and that works for me. To this day, that's what works for me. Doing my own thing on my terms, my way, on some Frank Sinatra shit, right? That is what works for me. And here's the thing. That was in 2011. From the moment that I completely separated myself from these toxic, bum-ass, immature dudes who did nothing more than go to some dead-end jobs, come home and play Madden or 2K, and think about nothing else. From the time that I cut away from these bums, my life took off in unbelievable ways. Literally, within a matter of months, I had gotten a job offer. Let's see, what came first? The job offer did. So at that point, when I had gotten out of college, I had worked at this job for a couple years as a general manager of a place. Now, let's get personal. I had worked at a place called Aaron's. It was a rent to own place. I was the general manager over there. Decent money, I guess you could say, but I was working like 65 hours a week. So is it really decent money? No, not when you really break it down to how much money I was making per hour due to those amount of hours I was working. So I had to pay my dues and work at Aaron's for two years. But right after I cut these bums out of my life and I started completely reconfiguring the way my mind worked and the amount of grind and the amount of hustle that I was putting towards finding an actual job that actually gets me back into my actual career field that actually correlates to my college degree. Who knows? Who knows what life holds when once you actually, I don't know, how should I put it? Once you put yourself in a path that you're ultimately supposed to be in, I don't know, all the opportunities in life really open themselves up to you, man. And basically, ironically, I got a great job offer to back in finance. It was like literally 3 months after my exodus from that friend group. So out of nowhere, my professional career takes off. I'm able to leave this job that I feel was a dead-end job at Aaron's because, you know, who wants to work that many hours a week just to make like 50, 60,000? That's not money when you're working that many hours, bro. But then I got a much better opportunity professionally. I'm able to actually step into my actual career field. In addition to that, I now had a lot more free time to not only work on investments and strategies and working on, and at that time I was just really starting to get into the idea of trading and learning the ins and outs of technical analysis, and as well as institutional trading strategy as well, because I wanted to be able to understand the full game of trading. I had a few partners at that time that was doing their thing when it came to the options trading game. They were doing binary options, but I wasn't trying to get in there. I wanted to get more from the stock options, and that's ultimately the investment path that I did pursue and had quite a bit of success in it. But anyways, my professional career started taking off from that point. Ironically, 2011, got that black cloud from over me. Professional life started taking off. I've never really had much of a problem when it came to the women, but I started having even more time to smash even more women in 2011 because I had more free time. I was doing some reckless stuff. I'm gonna make another video about this, guys. I mean, I've touched on it here and there in some of my videos, but some of the shit that I used to do, some of the conquest, some of the rendezvous, some of the some of the scenarios I found myself in regards to women, it will make your head swim. But I lived it, and I love the fact that I lived it because these are just those experiences as a man that you get to look back on and laugh at. Anyways, just to get back to the point, sometimes your friend group that you're hanging around, or the people that you consider friends that you ultimately look back on and you say, damn, they were really never my friends. We were just comfortable with being around each other because we grew up together. But were they ever really my friends? Did they ever really have my best interest in mind? I honestly don't feel like they did. I think we just were homeboys that went to school together and we just found ourselves in the same location, so that's why we hung out. But did any of those dudes really give a fuck about me, the man? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it was just a matter of convenience, a situation of convenience. And I think a lot of people find themselves in that same scenario where you grew up with a person or you've had them in your life for a certain amount of time. So you just feel like, okay, so just by happenstance, I suppose we should continue to continue to this, whatever this is, this situation we have where we're always around each other. We hang out, we go places every now and then, or you come over, watch the game here. But are they actually serving you in any way? Is that actually serving you in your best interest in your life to keep this person around or to stay in this particular friend group, even if it is an extremely toxic friend group? Because in a lot of times, and this is something that we also were extremely guilty of, and this is all of us, it's like it used to be like, I don't know, it was like negative. Like, we all used to say a lot of negative shit to each other. Like, I don't think real friends would be so negative towards each other. I think we should always be focused on the positivity, building each other up, trying to make each other the very best versions of ourselves. That should always be the focus of a friend group. But as we all know, within friend groups, there's always generally an undertone of competition. There's always an undertone of backbiting and jealousy, because there's always somebody who's doing better than the others. There's always somebody who might be a little bit more up, somebody who's doing a little bit better with women, somebody who might be making more money, somebody who is ambitious and enterprising, looking to 10x their lifestyle. There's always undertones, and there's always people that are doing this, running their mouths and talking when someone's not around. So that always happens. That's every friend group, I'm sure, no matter how good of a friend group. But what made the one that I previously hung around, what made mine so annoying and ultimately unacceptable for me, is the fact that I always carry myself with a certain level of integrity, and I hold myself to a standard as a man. And if I have any grievance with anyone, just the person and the man that I am, I'm going to deal with you directly. I'm just going to address you like the damn numbers on the mailbox, directly. But unfortunately, we live in a world where there's so many fake ass people. Most people don't carry themselves that way. And unfortunately, I just so happen to hang around a group of dudes who were all ultimately just some lame ass cowards if we just keeping it a stack. Any man who is scared to express his true feelings about another man to his face is a coward. That's not a man. And my life took off in so many ways after I removed myself from that group. That was the very beginning of my career in the mortgage industry. Because I got that offer within a few months after I left the group. And from that point, I ascended up quickly into the mortgage industry. Started as a processor, then underwriter, then operations manager, then senior valuations analyst, and so forth, so on. Until a couple years ago, I transitioned out of the mortgage industry into more so KYC AML, which is where I'm at now. I'm a private side employee now for a very large bank. Maybe we'll get into that in another video where I actually tell y'all what I do for a living. But I'm doing very well for myself, and it all started once I removed myself from this insignificant, in the grand scheme of things, extremely insignificant, toxic. I don't know how to describe it. Once I removed myself from this extremely negative, toxic, immature, lame ass friend group. What is your friend group doing for you? I know everybody doesn't have a group of friends that are constantly hating on them or constantly looking to try to look for the chinks in the armor, so to speak. Perhaps you live in a scenario or a situation where your friends are all extremely helpful to each other and you all are always looking for the very best interest for each other. That's awesome if that actually correlates to you. That's awesome if you actually have it that way. But one thing I know is that the great majority of people's friend groups, I know for a fact that the great majority of them fall somewhere in the baseline of the same one that I left. Friends. The word friend is a very tricky word, and it's one that I don't really use lightly. I think I have people that I would actually consider to be my friend. I would say, all right, I'm going to exclude my parents because they're my parents, but they're the only people on this planet that I can just absolutely trust unequivocally, not have to even worry about it, not have to think twice. That level of trust, only my parents hold that level of trust from me. Now, I would say I have maybe one or two other people that I actually consider friends. A friend, if you actually have a true friend, that is a true asset indeed. Who is this? Is somebody hating on me? Who is Amon King? Who is this hating bitch ass nigga? He is not hot. Can you show yourself, Amon King? Because I'm sure you are probably just a unattractive incel in your mom's basement. But hey, buddy, I appreciate you coming to the stream though. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, bro. But yeah, like I was saying, man, when it comes to true friends, if you actually have true friends in this world, you actually are blessed. I feel like I have about maybe, like I said, one or two people that are friends that I know I could actually depend on. But here's the thing: I've always been nothing but a solid friend to everyone else, and that's probably what makes it more so frustrating to me. Just me personally. How many of y'all feel like y'all got real friends, like somebody that you actually can depend on, regardless, good or bad? If you need something, you can hit them up, and you know that they can actually come through for you. Because that's a real friend. I got maybe one or two of those. But when it comes to the whole group in totality, because I know a lot of y'all, especially when it comes to women, a lot of women always have big groups that they hang with. Man, women do it way worse than men though. Women, there's nothing like the woman friend group. You want to talk about people that secretly hate each other? You want to talk about people that secretly despise one another? Just look at the inner dynamics of the average woman friend group. Bitches hate each other, bruh. Anyways, I know I got off on a tangent there. But the whole point of this video is to remind you that sometimes in life we get to a crossroads where we're hanging around people that don't actually serve our best interest. Sometimes it feels like you have to dim your own light just to be in the midst of these people who are constantly dragging you down. Instead of allowing them to drag you down or forcing you to have to dim your light, because that should never be done. Never dim your light to make others feel in order to make others feel comfortable. You should never have to dim who you are as a person just to help others feel comfortable. Never shrink yourself down just so someone else can feel comfortable. No. Be yourself at all times. And if that means that you have to remove yourself from this entire group of toxic people who are not doing anything positive for your life, then that's what you have to do. That's what I did way back in 2011. What is it, 2025 now? 14 years ago. 14 years ago. My life has been absolutely unbelievable ever since. Ever since I left them dusty bum ass dudes in the past. I removed myself from that group. I'm getting word from different girls because they know I don't talk to dudes, so they got to send word through women. Like, damn, they miss you. The boys say they miss you, man. Like, you don't ever come around no more. I like, what the fuck do we have to talk about? Now, don't get me wrong. It's no beef. It's no bad blood. I just don't fuck with you on no level. Just understand that we got no beef. It's no ill will towards you, bro. I just don't fuck with you on any level. And it's just that simple. You don't have to have a problem with someone just to remove yourself from them. And here's the thing. Elevation requires separation. Once again, elevation requires separation. Sometimes in order to continue moving up in life and to get to those heights that you're destined to get to, you got to remove yourself from the bombs that you're hanging around. And that's just as simple as I can put it, bro. Straight like that. But I don't want to get redundant. I just wanted to make this video because I was just thinking on it. Because when I meet people, it's always ironic to them or it's always unique to them because let's say I'm out and about. If I meet someone, they always ask me, oh, who did you come here with? And it's always the same. Oh, I roll everywhere solo. I'm a lone wolf. Everywhere I go solo. I don't want to have to wait on anyone. I don't want to have to wait to see if they're ready to go. I don't, or likewise, if I want to stay longer, I don't want to have to say, hey, no, I don't feel like going. I live life on my own terms. That's what I'm trying to get across. And you can't live your life on your own terms if you're looking for validation in others that you hang around or people that you grew up with, that you're worried about what they think, or you have to constantly worry about whose opinion is going to be about this, or what they're going to think. Who gives a fuck? At the end of the day, this is your life to live, and you have to live it. And you can't allow people who are less ambitious, people who are just less productive, who don't have the same level of integrity as you can't allow them to bog your life down, because they absolutely will. Sometimes you just got to free yourself. That's what I did, man. I freed myself, and man, my life has been absolutely exceptional, tremendous, blessed, beyond measure, ever since I got away from them dusty bum ass niggas. And that's a fact. You know what? I feel free just talking about it. I feel good just talking about it. And you know what gives me even more joy? And this is going to be some foul ass shit, but this is just fetch, man. When I look at these niggas' lives and I see that they are, and I see that they have just gotten nowhere near the level of achievements that I, myself, have reached and obtained. And I see that they don't own anything. And I see the fat, ugly bitches that they be out with. I see their Instagram pictures. Because I didn't unfriend any of them, you know. I just don't fuck with them in real life. But when I just look at their mediocre lifestyles, because they don't have the same work ethic, they don't have that same drive, that same ambition, they don't have that same undying competitive disease to be the absolute best in any room that they're in. They don't have that desire. I want to be better than any motherfucker in the room with me. Seriously, it's a competitive disease. I can't explain it. You just have to, it has to be in you. It has to be in you. They didn't have that mentality. And that's why their lives, well, listen to me talking, man. Yeah, I can tell it's late. They didn't have that same mentality. And that's why their lives have turned out the way that they have. You know, you are what you are in this world. You're either somebody or you're nobody. But here's the beautiful part about it. You yourself get to make that decision. Are you going to be somebody or are you just going to be a mediocre ass nobody? Which one? I'll be damned if I let my life go by without me absolutely going for the fucking go. I just can't live a life of mediocrity. I'll be damned if I die without me knowing that I pushed it as hard as I fucking could every day. Some people just don't have that in their brain. Some people just don't have that in them. They are perfectly fine with living mediocre, mundane lives. We only have one trip on this earth, bruh. Why would you not want to go as hard as you can every day? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But then again, this mentality is what makes me me. And on the other end of the spectrum, the fact that their mentalities were in complete contrast to how I think, is what makes them them. And that's why I had to stop fucking with them. Can you relate? Are you hanging around a bunch of unproductive, mediocre people that are holding you down? Do you know that you need to make a move? Do you know that you need to remove yourself in order to reach that next level, to ascend higher? If so, what are you waiting on? You know what you need to do. And that's why I'm just going to end it at tonight. It is getting, oh, well, shit, it ain't getting too late, actually. Maybe I'll go out. Maybe I'll go out and recruit some more. We shall see, man. But I'm going to leave y'all right there, man. It's been a pleasure. As always, this is your man, Thatch the Great. I'm a holla. Peace.